Welcome back. It's still the bumper breakfast, and of course the last lap of the conversation for today. We're talking about the full reopening of schools, and it's quite interesting that babies and toddlers are now free to go to school. Mrs. Abosede Adelaja, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Education, Lagos State, joins us on the bumper breakfast table this morning. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Good morning, madam. Oh, she looks so pretty and so calm. You know when they say "Are you tutu"? Those who don't speak Yoruba, don't join me. Just no,
you should translate it.
Not that kind of translation. Welcome. It's good to have you here. We've come a long way with the fight against COVID-19, and the Ministry of Education was one of the most affected so far. So I must take your first reaction to the fact that babies can now go to school.
Well, looking at everything so far so good, it's like we started gradually testing the waters. We started with the SS3, we reopened and looked at how we will cope. And by the grace of God, we did. They wrote the exams, and to the glory of God, everything went smoothly. And there was no case of COVID infection from any quarters. So we now said, okay, let us move a little bit further again. Let's try GS3, because they are supposed to write terminal examinations as well. So we said, okay, GS3, and since the SS3 had passed out, let us now call in SS2 so that they can start early preparation towards their own terminal examination next year by the grace of God. So we said SS2 to resume in their schools so that their schools will not be empty, and GS3. And we started too, and to the glory of God as well, GS3 they finished the basic examination certificate, examination certificate. And here we are. We realize that God has been helping us. And looking at the records in the state, it's like the pandemic is going down. The rate of attack is reducing.
I was about asking you that question, ma'am. That does it mean that we are now in post-COVID, that there is no COVID again?
No.
Going back to schools?
No, it's just that it has the epidemic had greatly reduced. And looking at it, that is within control, following the guidelines. Now we realize that education is also important. These children have stayed at home for over 6 months, which had never happened. Maximum 3 months, the long vac. Now 6 months. Again, other classes have resumed. So many businesses are opening. Parents are in dilemma of who to take care of these children. You know, the crèches, the preschools serve as a support to parents when they go to work to have a place to keep these children. Now that the schools are not opened and the parents are going to work, the senior ones are back in school. In fact, you know, it became an issue to parents. And we realized that since it's going down and God has been helping us, all we just need to continue with strict supervision to ensure compliance to the rules. We believe with that we are able to cope.
But let me ask a question. During the period of the WAEC in Lagos, because some other states of the Federation recorded cases, you had WAEC, you had BC. Was there any case?
There was no case to my knowledge.
To your knowledge in Lagos.
Amongst all the
students are talking about not in Lagos.
No, of course I know. Every other state, you know.
Any report during that period
in Lagos.
In our schools in Lagos. Not that, you know, it's not that the records, because at least I follow the news and I know that they still record cases. But what we are
not in
saying
schools.
is not in schools.
Not from the teachers and not from the students.
No. And I really want to really give kudos to the governor, Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu,
No, you deserve it.
because
You deserve
he
the
gave
marks.
us all the support
Yeah.
for smooth resumption.
What were the measures put in place
Put in
by
place,
the
yeah.
government for this smooth resumption?
First
what were
and
your
foremost,
income?
full 100% compliance with the COVID protocols, like social distance, using of face mask,
Hand sanitizer.
hand wash in schools. We provided wash hand basins, and some they had all these taps and buckets, sanitizers, soap, and then cleaning of the environment, fumigation, to ensure that all contaminations are clearing the entire premises and making sure the schools are neat from time to time.
But now that you're going back to school, which means the population, for example, let's take Ikosi High School, for example, Ikosi Junior High, just finished their BCE. They distributed them into, rather than the 90 per class, they went to 30
yes.
per class when they were about to resume. Now that they've done 30, the children are out of class. They're done with this exam. The classes they used belong to other classes, which you have asked to resume on Monday.
Yes.
How is the government going to ensure social
We are
justice?
mindful of that. And so in Lagos State, what we planned is, the situation are not the same in all schools.
Definitely.
Schools that are highly or densely populated,
Populated.
what we have advised and the plan we have put in place is that they have staggered classes.
That's the two
That
sections.
is, yes. If you
The
come
section.
like the senior, if it is the junior school, in GS3 is in school on Monday, GS2 will come on Tuesday,
Okay.
and like that,
So that's how
we
it is.
staggered.
Okay.
Then we made provision that when they are at home, the online lessons still continue. We have not stopped. So that they can continue with that at home.
Lessons, okay.
And teachers also give them homework that they will keep them busy on the day they are not coming to school.
Okay.
We know that having all of them at once may be a tall order, going by social distance. So we have made that arrangement. So a group of students will come 3 days, another group will come 2 days. They alternate the
Looking at
days.
this staggered arrangement, I can't just connect with it because this is the first time we're seeing something like this, and it's not our fault.
Do you think it will work?
But thank you. You know where I'm going to.
Well,
But
I wouldn't say it will not work, because even when the schools were closed down, these students were learning. There are so many platforms that they are connecting with their teachers.
Okay.
For example, in our schools, the teachers have WhatsApp group with their students where they follow up the television and radio program, and they monitor the activities with their students and pupils. So they're still going to, they've not stopped that. The Lagos State government, through support, through the public-private partnership support,
Yes.
also got some Android phones,
Okay.
some phone, let's say devices, let me use the word devices,
Devices.
Okay.
that has been customized,
Okay.
that have been given to some schools and teachers, which they can use during
teach.
this absence, when they are not in school, to give them assignments, they will teach. Because we have for the teachers, we have for the students. But I need to quickly say that it has not gone round. But we are still
Go there.
yes,
I have a woman in my church.
We
who
are
has 3
still-
kids in that particular school.
we are still doing it set by set.
Set by
We
set.
started with SS2,
Okay.
which we believe is the most crucial for now, because they'll be writing terminal
Terminal exam very
examinations.
soon.
And this thing requires funding, and we've been getting support, and we are still. I'm using this opportunity again to solicit for
More support.
more support from private organizations.
For the educational sector now.
Yes, real meaning individuals to come on board and partner with us.
But let me ask a question here. Where exactly you are? What are the security measures put in place inside of those devices? Because when you give an SS2 student a device like that,
Yes, the fear of
But I thought you said the device are for the teachers.
no, both teachers,
teachers,
so that they can
Okay.
synchronize the
Okay.
work.
Okay.
You see, the way the devices are, it has both offline and online.
Okay.
The offline, so that the battery will not, and it will not consume data.
Okay.
Okay.
There is data that MTN is partnering with the
Okay.
company
Okay.
to provide data.
Okay.
They are also controlled, so it's not just, you can't go to Instagram or YouTube.
No, on the phone. Okay.
No.
Okay.
It's a customized phone, not the normal phone.
Not
It's
the
a
normal phone.
Let's
That's the same.
loaded with curriculum
Okay.
Into.
into.
Okay.
They only allowed maybe a little bit of internet.
Okay.
If you want to do some kind of researches, want to make inquiries educationally. So they allow them to go to some sites.
Okay. Now, but let's ask again. Moving away from public schools
to private school.
to the private schools.
Just
From
like
everything that you've said, the Lagos State government is putting.
only focused on
They're
the
trying to, block all loopholes and then create a smooth running of schools. As any school, especially the private schools, flouted these COVID-19 protocols since resumption.
Well, the process is you are supposed to fill an online form.
Okay.
After the online form has been filled, you will submit online, and then the school will be visited to confirm information given. And at the end of the day, if you are not found culpable, you will be given a clearance to open. That is the process through the Office of Education Quality Assurance in Lagos State.
Okay.
But if, I'm sorry, some people lie. What about if...
No, that's why they will verify.
Okay.
After the submission. Yes, after submission of the form, the school will be visited.
Okay. But
ascertain.
once visited and they've been ascertained to resume, then what about if they start... If the
We still have the normal monitoring done by the quality Office of Education Quality Assurance.
Okay.
What we have, that one is just specifically for resumption. That's still the routine visits, yes, that they do. We have inspectors at zonal level that visit schools within their zone. We have inspectors at the headquarters that will visit all schools. So as they visit public or government schools, they also visit private schools. And apart from that, we have not left the school entirely. We also work with the associations. We collaborated and dialogued with them. We organized training for schools and teachers online training that will also allow you clearance after your teachers have assessed the training.
Okay, but when you say schools, you're talking about the public schools
and private.
And private, together, private and public.
Yes. Because you see, you cannot say we are talking of children irrespective.
Whether they are in private or they are in public, they belong to the government.
Yes, children of Lagos State government.
Yes,
that's how we see it.
I said it to somebody.
Our government sees.
That's why they will prosecute a parent for maltreating his child, because any child under the age of 18 belongs to the government.
Yes,
that's why you will go to jail for maltreating your own child. Don't say I bettered the child. But let's go back to the school resumption next week. In just a few minutes, what would you say parents must do for their children who are resuming next week? Especially for the lower classes, the preschool, the creches, and all of that.
So the rest can wear a mask.
I expect parents to begin counseling at home. To begin to talk to their children that you'll be going out now, you'll be at home all the while. It is very important to obey all rules. Don't take anything for granted. So that education at home is even though the school will do all the necessary, because before they enter the premises, they will ensure their hands are washed, the temperature is taken, and all those things. And they also have a room dedicated in case a child is discovered. That child will be isolated for just a while before the child is moved to the nearest hospital for screening and better attention. So really, these parents are to do the first job at home, because they're the first teachers, and then the schools will also collaborate. By the time they resume, they are first and forced to do a kind of counseling sessions with them. You know, some of them are already traumatized, so different kinds of emotion is coming back to school, and training has been given to the teachers to know how to assess these children and to know how to attend to them. And by the grace of God, we believe all will be well. Even though we too, we are not going to sit down, but on that Monday, all directors, commissioner, permanent secretaries, chairman, all of us will be on the field to see to the smooth resumption, to make sure the protocols are strictly adhered to.
Let's quickly take this break. We need to round off before we go. I need to take a quick break. When we come back, of course, we still have Mrs. Abosede Adelaja here, and we will be talking as we round off Bumper Breakfast. Don't go away.
Arise, O compatriots! Words we are taught as infants, like an infantry trained to react in an instant, an army of go-getters from the get-go. When they think our moment might slip away, we ginger ourselves and never let go. Impossible? Undoable? Who said so? The Naija DNA does not accept no. No. For the next 60 years, every second is a chance to run the show and continue the race of our heroes past. Even when there's a go slow, we will jump and pass.
They say we are learners.
Tell them we are in a different class. Arise, oh compatriots, because Naija no dey carry last. DSTV Nigeria, this is our moment.
Well, back here is still the Bumper Breakfast, of course, the last lap, and the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Education here in Lagos is still with us in the studio as we begin to go. I'm made to understand that there are some things we can do as parents, you know, to report, as passers-by, to also report. But when these people are reported, what happens to the school? What happens to them? What would the government do to them?
Well, it all depends on the gravity of the offense.
Of the offense, okay.
If report is received, our officers will swing to action and move to the school to really ascertain. You know, at times, some of these whistleblowers, they will just give fake information. Or maybe because they have issue with someone, they just want to pull the person into. So then we go to go and investigate to ascertain whether the case reported is actually what happened.
Wow, okay.
Thereafter, if it's to be closed, the school will be closed.
Okay.
If it is temporarily.
Okay.
But if the situation is so bad,
Okay.
then maybe if it requires closing permanently, we will. In fact, during the lockdown, some schools opened illegally, and when we had information, they were closed down.
Oh. So, but as a whistleblower, if I'm to be the whistleblower, will my identity be covered?
Certainly.
Because most people are scared of that.
Certainly.
Some people will say,
It's not even right to disclose the identity of a whistleblower.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Adelaja.
But we want the whistleblowers to give us the identity to be sure that we know what they are saying.
They're saying, okay.
Thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
I'm sure that parents, teachers, everyone who has listened today have caught one thing or the other. We will be sharing the numbers that you will get to call to report any untoward behavior. But you, of course, know the number of the Bumper Breakfast Show, because when you send me your report, I'll be forwarding them straight to the permanent secretary. So you can, if you want to report any school that is not following the COVID-19 protocol, you know the number to send it to is 080-9396-2299. The number again is 080-9396-2299. And of course, there is a number for the government government as well. We'll be putting all of that on the bumper breakfast tomorrow. That's our show for today. Thank
And
you
again,
so much.
before we go, I would like to quickly say this. Please, it's not all about reporting alone. You have to be sure of what you
Take
report.
pictures,
Please take
record,
pictures. You don't because
short
you are,
videos.
because you are in a situation evidence. Yeah, just because you're in a situation in the school with the school proprietor or the school principal or
Just
whatever,
because you
go
are in
with that.
school fees.
Because you're in school fees, or even if you're not in school fees, or just because
You have other issues to
society, no,
Definitely, please. Just make sure you're sending us proof. Pictures and videos preferably. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you again tomorrow.
All right, and remember, it is not yet post-COVID-19. I kept saying it. It's still there. Make sure you go out with your mask, wash your hands, go out with your sanitizer.
As I have with mine.
Yes, that's it.
She's back on the mask. She's back on the mask. She said, I guess she's back on the mask. All right, we'll see you soon tomorrow. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.